and welcome to Legal Affairs. My name is Diamond Liddy, and I'm the public defender of the 19th Judicial Circuit. We have a wonderful guest with us in this wonderful time of the year, Michael Sancho. Welcome, Michael.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And you are?
I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County.
Okay, but you are brand new.
Not anymore. I've been here since June.
Since June. Some of these things go. You are. You got this position in June of this year.
In June of this year, I started, but this is my 26th year with Boys and Girls Clubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started my career in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
I was there for 22 years. Worked my way up the ranks, and then came to Martin County and was the chief operating officer at the clubs there for 3 years, and just slid up north on June 17th.
Oh, great. Okay, tell us, most people know about Boys and Girls Clubs,
Right.
and know you do great things, but for those who don't, tell us what Boys and Girls Clubs are about.
Well, what it's really about is relationships. Everyone talks about the great activities and programs we have. What really happens, the magic, so to speak, is the relationships that are developed. I can go back in my career, and most Boys and Girls Club professionals can, and they'll talk about kids that to this day are grown-ups with their own kids. It's that magic that happens. It's the interpersonal relationships with a staff member and a child, and with the kids amongst their peers.
But what is your focus?
Our focus is 5 core areas. We look at character and leadership development, education and career development, the arts, health and life skills, and sports, fitness, and recreation. Okay,
but what group, is there a particular group that you target, or can any child?
Any child can join. In our organization, we have 2 separate age groups. At our school-based clubs, we have 12 clubs in schools. The ages begin at age 5. So if you're kindergarten age 5, you could join the program.
Okay.
At our 4 traditional clubs, the ages are from ages 6 to 18.
Okay. And is it, help me understand a little better. There are so many great organizations, and obviously you've just given us the 5 areas of your focus. But are these for troubled youth? Is it for anybody that wants to come?
Right.
It's
for anyone. What our mission says to enable most young people, especially those who need us most, and that's pretty liberal. You can define that as anything. We've worked with kids who have been from very affluent families, but they have struggles. They have challenges within themselves that they need that mentor. They need that positive peer interaction. And then we have kids who are very underprivileged, that they just need us to be that second parent, or to be that parent for them, that main parent for them. Right. So it's any child.
Okay.
I always say, if you can get on a plane and come from East China, come. We won't turn you away. No child is ever turned away.
Now, is there a cost to belong to Boys and Girls?
It's a minimal cost for our traditional 4 clubs. The cost is $10 a year for the membership fee.
$10 a year.
$10.
Oh my gosh! And can you go then every day?
You can go every day. You can go every day. At our school-based sites, it's a weekly fee of $35 a week, plus the $10 a year membership fee. But no child is ever turned away because they can't pay.
Okay.
We will provide scholarships, and that's any child. So if you come to us and you're struggling, we will help you out.
Well, what's the difference between the school-based clubs and the 4 traditional?
At the 4 traditional clubs, we have a building, a larger building. At the school-based sites, we're in the cafeteria, in that confined space, and then we use the outdoor spaces like the playground. But we run the same program.
Okay. And so, again, I show up at one of the, not the school-based site, one of the other sites, as a child. I'm 12 years old. My parents dropped me off.
Right.
How long can I stay there? Am I going to get fed?
Great questions.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, are you going to make me play football, or can I do a painting class? The only reason please, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm not being. I just know you guys
Do so much.
Right. I just. How do you figure it out?
Here's what happens. First, if you're a new club member,
Right.
Whether it's at the school-based site or at we'll call them community sites, we're going to partner you up with another club member. We're going to give you a buddy system to show you the
cool.
ropes, because it's kind of daunting. You come into this space and it's like, oh, what do I do? I'm new to this. Everything's scheduled, so we have free time. One of the first things that happens after school, you come in, you do your homework. And so all staff is on the floor. If I'm at the club, I have to help with homework. And we assist kids with their homework.
Okay.
And so some kids don't need assistance. Some kids just have a question. We check their homework when we can. Obviously, we're dealing with a lot of kids, over 1,200 kids a day.
Well, and going to different schools, you don't know the kids. Right. Okay.
So they do homework, and then from there, different activities are scheduled. You go into your group. You go to the games room. When they blow the whistle or blow the horn, you may rotate over to the art room. You may rotate outside to do what we call triple play, which is a fitness program. So under the 5 core program areas, we have about 50 different programs and activities.
Oh, okay.
And they all don't take place every day,
right,
but throughout the season, as we call it.
Well, how late are your school-based clubs open, and how late are the...
School-based clubs, we close at 6.
Okay.
And our traditional clubs, at the community clubs, we close at 8 p.m.
Okay. And on do you have a school-based club at every public school in this county?
No, 12 schools.
12.
12 schools,
okay.
right.
But it doesn't matter if you go to, let's say, Lincoln Park Academy,
right,
and do they have a school-based club?
No, Lakewood.
Okay.
We have one at Lakewood.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if you go to Lincoln Park, but you want to go to, you can go to I mean, if you go to Lincoln Park,
right,
you can go to the Lakewood school-based club. You don't have to go to the school-based club that you...
Correct.
Where you go to school.
You go to any location.
Okay.
Right.
So do parents... now, as we're talking, it seems to me that as a parent that works, this is the perfect
right,
babysitting opportunity. Is that what...
We're not babysitting.
Okay, and that's what I want to know.
Most people tend to think that.
Right.
You come in as a kid, and there is some babysitting that goes on. I want to be clear on that.
Oh, sure.
Right. I mean, you have the younger kids.
Yeah.
Right. But I always say this. If a teenager, 17-year-old, wants to join our club and sit down on the floor at the front desk, let him sit at the floor at the front desk. We're not going to bother him because he's off the street. He's in a safe place.
Right.
And so we're not going to bother him. Now we're going to talk to him. We're going to try to get him engaged.
And find out why he...
Right. He was just sitting there, and eventually he'll come along and start joining the programs and activities. But you will work when you're there as a club member. We do volunteerism. You start out helping at your club. It's maybe helping another fellow club member with their homework or with an art project. You will clean. It's your club. It's not our Boys and Girls Club. It belongs to the club members. They will clean up their club, teach them responsibility, but they will be engaged. We're not going to allow one child just to sit off to the side for too long, and everyone gets engaged. So,
and just be a drop-off place until their parents want to pick them up at 8 o'clock.
Right, and it's funny because you see a lot of times once the kids get acclimated, they tell them, "Oh, why are you picking me up so early? I don't want to leave." You know, the parents, long day at work at 6 o'clock, they want to stay to 8. And, you see the argument with the parent and the child because we engage them. There's no sitting around and just hanging out.
No, and I guess the primary great thing is what you mentioned earlier, that they're not on the streets, because otherwise, if they're not with you and the parents don't get home, then they're just a petri dish waiting to commit criminal activity.
And that we know that time between 3 and 6 p.m., most juvenile crime takes place at that time. Right. So we're serving over 1,200 kids a day and helping make a difference.
That's a great, that was my next question. So 1,200 from St. Lucie County?
Just in our organization, yes.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But that's not impressive. I'm sorry. It's not. Because over 15 million kids in this country this afternoon at 3 o'clock will go unsupervised. And we're not reaching every kid in St. Lucie County. So until we reach every kid in St. Lucie County, I'm not satisfied. We should not be satisfied as a community.
Oh, yeah, but you're going to have to build a bunch more places.
Yes. And now, can we handle much more than 1,200 kids a day? No, we cannot. That's a reality that we face. Our facilities are near capacity, but we have to expand staff to do that.
Right.
We do have a child safety program. We don't keep a kid in a group larger than 25 kids. So that's the largest group size we will have. So you have to have staff for that. You have to have resources to run programs and activities to do that. One of the things we want to make sure that happens every day, first and most important thing is kids are safe.
Right.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, that's our number one goal. Then after that is fun. We want to have a blast. We want kids walking out and say, that was the coolest place I've ever been to. I can't wait to go back tomorrow.
And can someone start at 5 and be there till 18?
Oh, yeah.
And they do?
They do. And some of them go off to college, come back and work for us.
Oh, wow.
So, that happens all the time.
And do you feed them? That was the other
We feed them, yeah. We have healthy snacks. We're working on trying to get the resources to provide meals. But here's what happens. Even if we didn't have resources to provide a meal, staff, they'll reach in their pocket and they'll pay a kid, pay for the pizza. We'll do a pizza party. We do have funding from Children's Services Council. We do.
Yeah, that's what how are you funded?
We're funded government funding, government grants, individual gifts, major gifts. Folks like yourself who donate to us. Part of my role is to go out and seek foundation support. We have a development team. We do that together. And so any which way, we don't beg.
Right.
Right. We don't beg, but we do special events.
Right.
We write grants. We seek individual gifts, and we get government grants.
How many on the staff for Boys and Girls Club?
Right now we have 106 employees.
Wow. Okay. And that includes the people that are at your school sites,
School sites, our administrative office. Right.
Well, I can't not ask you this. Obviously, from coming up north, today you've been in Florida for how long now?
3.5 years.
Okay, that's a diverse. That's a big difference from, you said Newark,
New Jersey.
Right, Newark, New Jersey to Florida. Are the kids different?
No.
They're not.
No. A kid is a kid. You'd be surprised. And I've had the good luck to travel the country as a National Training Associate for Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and been to clubs in Mississippi and the Midwest, Texas, you name it, at the Eastern Seaboard. Kids are kids.
So they share the same issues, it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't matter where you go. It's the same thing.
Okay.
And here's what kids are looking for. It's this simple. They're looking for affirmation. They're looking for someone to say hi, to say thank you, to say good job. And aren't we all looking for that?
Well, yeah. It doesn't matter how old you are.
It doesn't matter, right? That pat on the back.
Everybody wants to be liked.
Right.
It's just.
In our clubs across the country, not only St. Lucie County, they're placed in communities where there's a greater need.
Right.
We have 2 of our clubs in Fort Pierce. There's a reason why we are there. Those kids need the services.
Right.
And so when you look at that, and you break it down, a lot of them come from single-parent households.
Right.
Where the parent, if they're working, they may be working 2 or 3 jobs. And maybe, someone doesn't even see their mom or their dad all day long.
Right.
And some of them go to school, and they're already struggling to get to school. And the first time someone ever says hello to them and really gives them a high five or a pat on the back is when they walk through our doors. That there's a staff member saying, hey, little Johnny, hey, little Susie, high five, welcome to the club. Maybe that's the first time all day someone even said hello. And so we start from that premise.
One of the things I guess you're focusing or have a special for at-risk youth. Is that a special focus, or that's just generally? Or?
That's just generally. That's the majority of the clientele we serve because of where our clubs are located.
Okay.
It's for a reason.
What kind of parent involvement do you get? I mean, obviously these are at-risk youth, so probably the parent involvement in general, I mean, is not great. But I mean, what percentage are we talking about, Mike?
I couldn't tell you what the percentage is because we don't classify our membership that way. We just know that we serve any child who walks through our doors. But if you were to take one of our unit directors who runs a club, they can tell you, which parents they have maximum involvement with. We have the whole spectrum. We have those parents, no involvement.
Yeah.
We struggle with the child, reminding the child your parent has to sign the membership enrollment form. So we have those parents, all the way to parents that try to tell me how to do my job. So, we have all the way, right, all the way in between. It's just like the school district. It's exactly what the school district faces on a daily basis with their students. You have students that are, parents highly engaged, they're on the PTA, they active, and then
right.
parents who are not. And so we face the same dynamic.
Okay, so Mike, you don't turn anybody away. They can get on a plane from Japan and come here.
That's right.
We love it. What if you have a child that's disrupting the entire,
great question.
Okay.
Because we do have those.
Yes.
You can get suspended from the Boys and Girls Club.
Ooh, now that's not a good thing.
Right. But we do what is called effective guidance and discipline. And I'll give you an example of that. If I'm in a club and I see 3 young men running across the games room, obviously they should not be running across the games room. I will stop them and ask them a question. What did you do wrong?
Right.
And they're going to give me one of 2 responses. I guarantee you this. They will give me one of 2 responses. They're either going to say we were running or nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And so if they say we were running, I say, well, should you be running? No. If I catch you running again, what's going to happen? And they're going to say, you're going to make me sit down? I say, no, I'm going to make you clean. Now, you got one of 3 choices. Clean the windows, take out the garbage, sweep and mop the floor. Which one is it? And they have to select. And they may say, we'll take out the garbage. And if I catch them running again today in the games room, they will take out the garbage.
Right.
It's effective guidance and discipline. They've learned that they did a negative behavior. They learned there's consequences to that negative behavior. And if they do it again, they're held accountable. If they say nothing, which is, I know they're going to say, most of them say that, I said, well, take about 2 minutes to stand next to me until you figure out what you did wrong. He's going to say within 30 seconds, nothing or I was running.
Right.
Either way, they always get back to I was running. And so we do that. But there are issues where we do have fights. That happens. I mean, it happens in schools. It happens with that. People don't know how to act. So we try to resolve the issue and teach them how to, the next time they're faced with that challenge, this is what you do. You tell a person to stop or you tell a staff member. It's rare to get into a fight at the club because staff is there. No kid is ever left unattended or a group. But it does happen. My favorite thing to do is watch staff bring kids to the water fountain. I don't know what it is about water fountains that kids need to push and shove when they get to the water fountain.
Yeah, it is kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And remember in school, if run to the water fountain and you were pushing and shoving, and that's where something may happen in an altercation. So we deal with it, but we have a zero tolerance for any type of violence. If you get into a fight, you will face a day off or 2, and if it's serious, we'll give you more days. It's rare that we expel a kid.
That's what I was. Your immediate response was that we suspend them. You didn't even get to terminating them, expelling them.
That decision is made at our administrative office by our chief operating officer, Mandy Burnett. Any kid that faces that, there's steps that happen. Now, I mean, if a kid comes in and does something very drastic that day, obviously we may have to, expel a club member instantly. But that's almost I've never faced that in my 26 years. So I've never faced where a club member walked in that day and did something very drastic that they had to be expelled.
I got you. But you have.
I have, yeah. But here's what we do. We try not to expel a kid without giving the parent or the child another option. The Boys and Girls Club is not for everyone. I mean, we've had some kids that were at other programs and they come to us and we're structured. We have, we hold you accountable for your behavior.
Right.
We set very high expectations.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, and the kind of the answer I have been looking for. I mean, you've answered everything. I mean, and your enthusiasm is wonderful. But I have had, for example, other programs
Right.
on this show, and we all know of other programs for kids and stuff like that. But yours is unique in that it doesn't really focus on a special group. It's for the garden variety
Right.
child, kind of at risk, but not already in trouble, not not with learning disabilities,
Right.
that kind of thing. So there may be somebody that ends up with you that doesn't fit, but not in a bad way. They
Right.
need some extra counseling, let's say, or
We've had kids in our clubs with Asperger's.
well, exactly.
We're not equipped to deal with that, but when the parent comes in, if they're honest and upfront and say, this is what my child faces as a learning disability or
Right.
what have you, we have that conversation. We say, we want you to try it out. We won't even take your $10. Just come and let your child try it out.
You're kidding me. So you let Eve...
We'll let them try it out. Fill out the membership enrollment form so our insurance company doesn't get mad at us,
Right.
right? But come and try out the club. It may not be for your child.
But it may be.
But it may be.
Wow.
And we've had kids that, they spent the week at the club, it worked out. A month later, they've had a challenging day. That's okay. We deal with it.
Right.
And if it gets to the point, but we're honest with the parent up front and say the club may not be the situation, the best spot for your child. And as long as we have that honest conversation up
Right.
front, we attempt it, we try it, we ask specific questions. What are the challenges that face your kids? I mean, I've dealt with a kid once in Martin County where they could not take high noise. They could not be in an environment with a lot of noise. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, the club is not
Right.
for you, because if I walk in the club, I'm walking in shouting and screaming and having a good time.
Right,
And I
right.
may bring in a radio blasting music.
Right.
And interrupting the homework time. Because
Yeah.
I've been known to do stuff like that because it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
Right.
So that may not be the right environment for your child. They make the decision.
Yeah.
And so it's never our decision. It's our decision when a child misbehaves. And an example of that, we may have a child that just keeps getting into fights at the club.
Yeah.
And they've been suspended a couple of times, and that's it. Next time, we're going to expel the child. But then we may realize, wait a minute, what this child needs is a mentor. And we do mentoring at the club, but we partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so we may say to that parent, you know what, your child can no longer come back to the club, but we want them to join Big Brothers Big Sisters, get a mentor, and after 5 months, 6 months, we can revisit them coming back to the club based on our conversation with Big Brothers Big Sisters, your child, and the mentor. Because maybe in that time, they've developed a relationship and they've
Right.
learned, a new skill set as far as how to react to negativity. And so we never close the door on saying you can't come back. And I always say this, I can witness you on the corner as a teenager at gunpoint, rob someone. You can put the gun down, walk in the club, sign up, and we will take your application, and we will instantly talk to you about your behavior we just witnessed. We won't turn you away. We don't prejudge anyone.
Okay. But after you've called law enforcement.
Yes, most definitely, yes.
What about drugs, alcohol? Any issues with that?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's issues we face in our communities. Our kids tend to stay away from drugs and alcohol. We did a survey in March of this year, and I believe we rated it in the high 80 percentile of our club members who said they had not taken a drink or had not done drugs within the last year.
Wow.
But we do have a program called Smart Moves. It's an acronym for Skills Mastery and Resistance Training. And it's one of our better, if not top of the line programs, and it's a prevention program. And so we teach kids from the age of 6 all the way up to the age of 18 how to avoid alcohol, tobacco, drug, and premature sexual activity. The skills to avoid those.
And
the techniques
kind
to-
of like the what DARE used to focus on before
right,
they...
right,
okay.
the prevention piece of it. Right.
We are almost out of time. We got like 3 minutes. Are you guys... I do want to pitch this in case anybody out there watching wants to help or donate
Right.
money or whatever. Are you doing anything special for Christmas?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We just sent out a holiday appeal.
Okay.
It's on our website. We sent out a constant contact email just asking folks to give the gift of a great future to a club member, to a kid. You can donate anything. your support, anything, any generous gift that you can give is greatly appreciated.
And I have to ask the question, are you open Christmas Day, Christmas Eve?
No, we are closed from December 23rd through January 3rd. The entire organization is closed. On January 2nd and 3rd, staff comes back, and we're doing 2 days of staff training for our staff so they can better serve the kids.
Okay. And so now, if somebody out there listening wants to, are all your staff paid, or do you have volunteers?
We do
too?
have volunteers, but all of our staff is paid.
Okay. But the volunteers, what if somebody wants to volunteer? What's your protocol?
All they have to do is give us a call at 460-9918.
Okay.
And we'll walk them through the procedure. Every person that works with our kids has to go through a level 2 background screening. And
of course they do.
federal background check.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Any employee goes through drug screening.
Right.
So volunteers simply fill out an application. We'll get you through, and we pay for the screenings of our volunteers.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
okay.
we do. Doesn't cost a volunteer anything, and we'll get you in. And what we try to do is match your interest with kids. So if you have an interest in just teaching
chess. Let's say you can paint.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
We're not going to have you outside running a
playing football.
jump rope competition. No, we're going to have you painting with the kids.
Okay.
Right.
And you do have that, obviously with 106 employees,
right.
You've got a lot of staff, but there still is a need for the extra hands and stuff.
Because it's challenging to work one staff member with 25 kids. And especially when your CEO tells you you have to have fun at work, and I don't like a quiet club unless they're doing homework. Even then, I don't like it too quiet. So with the noise, it is kind of a challenge sometimes. Some of the activities that we're doing, especially kind of like the educational type things, we always could use help. And I'll give you an example. First marking period of the school year, 92% of our kids. Out of 1,200 we received.
Yeah, this is a good way to end this show. Because this is a good
954 kids turned in their report cards to us.
Right.
Out of those 954, 92% of those kids are passing math. They have at least a C average in math or higher. That means 8% of those kids need help.
Right.
So we can always use volunteers for that.
Right, but you've got a good percentage. The kids are thriving. Right. They're doing well in school.
Right. 94% of those same kids are passing reading or literacy.
Gotcha.
So 6% of them need help. So
right.
We can always use volunteers.
Okay. Well, Mike, keep up the great work.
Thank you.
I know everyone knew Norm, and those are big shoes to fill, but it looks to me like if, with your excitement and enthusiasm, if anybody could do it, you can.
Well, thank you.
Okay, and good luck and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
Hopefully you'll get some help.
Thank you.
Thanks.